Hello, thank you for watching my submission for the Meter Shift Competition Season 2. This time around I decided to go for two ships on very opposite ends of the spectrum. This season the category of choice for me was the heavy assault missiles. These are the short-range cousins to the heavy missiles. Unfortunately, CCP in their wisdom decided to give them the worst ability to apply their damage of all the short-range platforms in the game. Given the inherent stats of the system, you need to choose a ship with bonuses that are useful to how you intend to use it. In a vast majority of cases, people will set up like bricks and try to brawl you down, trusting that their tank is superior to yours and largely ignoring some more interesting bonuses out there. I tried to do something a little more unusual and kite with hams. To do this, I needed a ship with a flexible slot layout and a velocity bonus for improved base range. The Osprey Navy issue is the Caldery cousin to the Caracal Navy issue, but where the Caracal gets an explosion velocity bonus, the Osprey gets a straight velocity bonus in addition to not being hard kinetic locked, but instead kinetic biased. Through testing I found two ways to fit this ship. Both worked equally well. The first is a simple buffer fit. It is simpler to fly and manage heat damage. The second fit is almost identical, but you swap in a large ancillary booster and trade some damage for a little more range and slightly improved application. The reason for this is that it allows you to stay on grid if you can use your speed to pull range and refill your shield, reload the ASB, and then go back in, instead of having to bail out. You do not need implants for either fit to work, but if you have mid-grade or low-grade snakes it doesn't hurt to use them. Could you pay extra for faction shield extenders? Yes. Is it really worth it? Not in this case. Drugs however are your friend in this ship. Crash is almost absolutely necessary to have, because you already struggle to hit the broadside of a barn. Daily visits from CCP drug dealer are also always helpful, especially the ones that grant either more capacitor or improved capacitor regeneration, since your mid slots are committed to application. In general, always load Javelin and the range extender script. This lets you reach to nearly 66 kilometers and is ideal when fighting cruisers, and even further if they are chasing you due to flight time mechanics. If you are fighting frigates, switch to faction ammo and the precision script, then heat the hell out of the target painter and computer for maximum application. You will not outrun them, so you need to apply as much as possible to kill them as quickly as possible. If a frigate or destroyer wants to take a fight with this ship they are either new to the game or have friends very close by. You also only have 3 launchers, so let those babies burn. You can absorb a tremendous amount of heat damage in these, so there is no reason to not make use of it. You do not have the speed to punch into occupied plexes against cruisers. You can sometimes get away with it against destroyers and frigates because they expect you to be rapid light fit and run away. You also do not have unlimited capacitor, so you will need to manage your prop and mods to not cap yourself out. If you get scrammed by basically anything, you will die. If you run out of capacitor, you will die. If you do not prioritize any frigates on grid first, you will die. That's one end of the spectrum. Now for something a little different. The Vangel. the holy Amarian love child between a sacrilege and a curse. Born after the 9th Alliance tournament and gifted only to the winners. It shares the range and amount bonus with the curse, so it can apply nearly full power nukes as far as it can point things, but it has twice as much base capacitor. It has the resist profile nearly identical to a sacrilege, but 58% more base capacitor and twice the capacitor regeneration speed, plus the base armor of a harbinger. A Demas gets a 37.5% bonus to armor repairers. The Vangel gets 50%. So in practice it has the equivalent of a battle cruiser with combat recon bonuses and hack resist profiles. All of them on more roids than a Mr. Universe competition. Coupled with more drugs than a Mexican cartel, this ship is a gold-plated deified brick that you hurl at your target and vampire them out of capacitor before killing them. And because it is a brick, it requires a ridiculous tank to allow the newts to do their work. In certain configurations, like the one used during its presence at the Memorial of Bernie Nator, it can have in excess of 1.13 million EHP. The hardest part of deciding how to fit it for this video was knowing I would have to show the ship and pod. Although it could technically do the submission in secret, that seemed like a shitty thing to do. So, when you have to give free info to Von Hole, this is the basic bitch way to fit your multi-hundred billion ISK, 1 of 50, gold-plated vampire sledgehammer. However, if you were going to do this and not show the fit, you take roughly the same module base, then maximum out drugs, links, rolled mods and alts. The astute among you will notice that this ship is massively overtanked for the engagement it was in. This was intentional, as it has a very short damage projection range and moves like a herd of turtles through peanut butter. If it got caught, I needed to be able to keep it alive long enough for my backup to arrive and extract it. As one could imagine, finding opportunities to use a ship like this with an ECAP fit requires certain conditions that are difficult to find. This poor guy was in the wrong place at the wrong time. After setting up my alts next door in case of trouble, I got a good warp in. You'll see me aligning out. Local had gone up, and I was contemplating aborting, but decided to try and finish the kill, since the Gnosis had not pointed me back. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.